Hello, everyone. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. 𝐸𝐭𝐸𝐵𝐵𝐴𝐴𝐵𝐴𝐵𝐴𝐵. Hello. Hello, Shema. How you doing? Hello, everybody. Hello. Coming in. Say hello when you come in. I know it's much later than I usually do. Come on. But better late than never, right? How's everybody's day going so far? Hi, everyone. Okay, let me get my glasses so that everyone can be here. Let me get my glasses. Okay, so I can see. Tell me how your day has been. Miss Silly, is that how you say it? Hello. Let me put my glasses on. Because I deceived myself. But you see, I think I've said it before that growing up I used to. Good to see you as well. Fortnite 566. I used to make fun of my mom because my mom would literally, have something and she'd go like. And then Chris said, "Do you realize that you put stuff all the way out before you can read now?" And I go, "No, I don't." Yes, I do. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, much better. See? Come on, my budget wow. Meaning, may God not, may our eyes not go. Hi, everybody. This is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 Samuel, 𝐸𝐭𝐸𝐵𝐵 immigration lawyer, coming to you all the way from good old Alabama. How's everybody doing? How's your day been? It's been a long day. 𝒑𝒂𝒔𝒔𝒊𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒 Listen, I'm a true Nigerian girl. I always tell you guys. This is Attorney Ebisola Olale Omobabasamu, immigration lawyer based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. If you've got an immigration case, if it's a case staff that we hand in our firm, we can and do represent immigration clients, regardless of the state you live in. And I'm looking at all screens because I am on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. So if you have not subscribed, so I'm trying to reach 5,000 followers on Facebook. So I would appreciate all the support and love I can get. Send all your friends and families and even your enemies. Tell them, hey, Sisi Lawyer, come on to Facebook, like page. And before the end of February. Yes, because we're almost done with January. So let's help me reach 5,000 followers on Facebook. I think we're 3,000 something before the end of February. And we'll do a giveaway then. So share this video, share our page, subscribe to YouTube, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Where else am I? Facebook. Go and visit our website. I do video vlogs as well. So I don't even know. I don't know how I have the time for. My energy is contagious. Thank you. Listen. When I moved to America 20 years ago, it's going to be 20 years in, right? I think my mom is here, 2002. See, I went to law school because I can't do math. 20 years this July. I could not understand why people couldn't start their day without coffee. And I later on found out that it's a caffeine in the coffee that, they need to get their energy going. And I'm like, I can tell you, I don't need to start my day with coffee. I don't. Because if I drink coffee each morning with the kind of energy that I have, I'll be bouncing off the wall. I'm not kidding you. I'll be bouncing off the wall for real. It wouldn't be good. But thank you. I take that as a compliment. I try to stay positive. See, I got my own down times as well, but I don't let that last because life is too short. I'm telling you, life is just too short. If you've had, especially if you've lost loved ones, um, after my dad passed away, I stopped procrastinating because that's one regret I still live with. I don't know how long it's going to take him to get over that. Promising that I was going to see him at Christmas and never, never made it down there. So, but anyway, so yeah, if God gives you a new day, just start it and make the best of it. If you need to contact our office, hey, Mr. Stanley, you can reach us at 334-341-4475. Visit our website. Like I said, @llawfirm.com. Send me an email. Everybody who sends me an email, you will always, always, always get a response. I'm hooked to my phone because, I can literally run my law firm from my phone. Well, and my laptop. But that phone, yeah. Ooh, no, you can't. So I'm like, because I do criminal defense and family law. So all our notices and court orders and all that in the state of Alabama are online. So it's completely electronic. So you got to know what's being, said and all that. So emails, I check my emails. God knows there's sometimes I can go the whole afternoon not checking anything if I have something to, because I'm the kind of person, if I have to focus on something, you cannot get me out of it. Everything else has to wait. So email me, aos@allalawfirm.com, and let's get you started on your immigration case. I'm so happy. This week, 2 green cards approved. One that had a criminal case. It was, I cannot tell you that I was not worried, but I couldn't tell my client that I was worried. So if you're my client, I'm never going to tell you that I'm concerned. Now, I would tell you my concern is from the day we have a consultation. But if there's something that I think, I would not share that with you, unless it's something you need to know. But I would not share a worry with you because I don't want you to worry. When it's time to worry, I'll let you know. But rather than worry, I just leave it up to God. I do what I can, leave it up to God, and take it off your plate if I can, so you don't have to add that to it. So I was talking to the client who had the criminal case today, and they didn't know how bad it could have been. And she was like, "So why didn't you?" She and her husband, "Why didn't you tell us? Like, how would you already have a lot of you've got 2 kids, you're not sure if you're going to stay here, or there's a whole lot going on. You didn't have to worry about that." So approvals got another got another prima facie determination for a client who is in removal proceedings. I'll put that up later on. I don't know if Carla's put it up, but if not, I'll put it up. So you can file for VAWA even when you're in removal proceedings. And I was really worried about his case because we didn't have a whole lot. And sometimes you just don't get a prima facie determination. That is worrisome. Because if they cannot make a prima facie determination at the initial stage, it's like, okay. But anyway, hey, Miss Joy, let's talk immigration. Once again, the number is 334-341-4475. If you got an immigration question, put it in the comment section. I still talk really, really fast. I'm trying to work on that because I live in the South, and a lot of them can't understand what I say half of the time. And then sometimes I don't want them to really understand what I'm saying, and I just speak Yoruba. And they go, "What? Are you cussing us?" Like, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But let's talk. So if you're on YouTube or Facebook, and I see questions, so I'll get back to those later. Let's talk about, you see it on the screen, additional evidence. Let me see if I spelled correctly. Additional evidence in your immigration case. So basically what I am saying on this is, can you send in additional evidence in your immigration case even when you don't have an RFE? Short answer, yes, and I'll tell you why. So this can be any case, from regular marriage green card to VAWA case to H-1B petition, whatever the case may be. So and that's part of what we did in the office today. I think we had 2 packages that went out today. additional evidence in 2 cases. And I try to do that rather than wait for an RFE. And here's why. If you already know that you have something you can add to your case, or if there's something missing in your case and you know that you can anticipate that you will get an RFE, it's best to save yourself time and just send it in. Not just send it in by just first class regular mail. No, I don't ever, unless it's, let me see what I send in regular mail. I don't send anything regular mail to USCIs. I don't. The reason being, I need the evidence that somebody signed for it or it was delivered somewhere at some time, and I know the time and the date and the place. So at the very least, I would use a priority mail or certified mail. Majority of the time, I use express mail, and someone has to sign for it, and I always have the name of the officer, whoever's working there, that signs for it. Because I can't tell you how many times that has come as the saving grace in cases where they denied receiving anything. So if you know that you're going to get an RFE and there's something that you should have sent in, when you get an RFE, what happens is they pause working on your case. So that means your case is going to be delayed until they send it out. And that means they've halted working your case. You're going to receive the RFE. Then you're going to have the time to submit what they're asking for. And then you send it in. Then they resume working on your case. If you already know that there's something missing or there's something you can add to the case to buffer or to boost your case or to boost your evidence, you're being proactive. Now, this is just my brain. This is how I operate. Being proactive in making sure that you don't wait for your case to be delayed and there's no pause on it. An example would be one of the ones I sent out today. My client, we filed a bar case back in December. At the time that I was ready to submit, because I got OCD. So if you're my client, like a day, 2 days and a day before we send out your package, you probably get text from me, not anybody else, from me, because I do the final review. My eyes see it last before it leaves my office. You probably get text from me like, I think I was texting Mr. Michael yesterday. I don't know if he's on. I think like 11 p.m. And I'll tell you beforehand. I'll say, hey, listen, I may text you really, really late. I'm going to need you to stay up because I need you to help me make sure I have everything I have. So you just have to bear with me. And so in December, my client, we were going back and forth, and I noticed that the FBI background check was missing, and that's part of the good moral character proof for a VAWA case. But I knew that I didn't want him to go yet another month while they can, process his case and get his alien number and put his case in the file, and we can start counting towards when his work permit can start being processed and all that. So I said, let's send it out. I have a cover letter for it's tailored to each person's case. So in his, I had to take out that part. We just had, good moral character letters from friends and things he does. So while I was sent that in, I told him, go ahead and get that done. He got it done. He sent it to me, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Finally got the receipt notices. I don't know when it was delivered, but I got them when I got in the office today. And today, the same day we got the receipt notice, I turned back around and sent out the FBI background checks. And with another saying, this is good, FBI background check, so that when they do the initial review, they're not going to delay saying, hey, there's nothing to satisfy good moral character requirement of VAWA. And then that's going to put a pause on the case. And then we send an RFE. By the time, so we send a priority mail, it would get the latest by Monday. By the time they're going through his case, they would have it, because we're just getting the receipt notices. I already know that it's going to be delivered. It's going to be signed for. So by the time they're going through his case, they have that and they know that it's part of that record. You include a copy of the receipt. I could not send it out because we didn't have the receipt notices yet. So when the receipt notices came in today, made a copy of the I-360 receipt notice, put his early number in, and sent the FBI background check, and as well as another witness affidavit with that, with another copy of my notice of appearance, so that they know whose file it is and what was missing. Now you have it. That saves us, one second, that saves us time. So we don't have to wait, because we already know that they're going to send an RFE for that. And I told her, like, they're going to send an RFE for that. But I don't want to wait until you're done and then we study, because that's going to push us back almost another month. So now we have receipt notices. We have, he's going to be scheduled for his biometrics. That can be going on while they get this. And we will probably maybe a little bit delayed in the prima facie determination, hopefully not. But that's done. So you don't necessarily have to get an RFE before you send in additional evidence in your case. Sometimes you have to supplement evidence. Say, for instance, in a regular marriage-based case, you have a sponsor or a joint sponsor who filed an I-864, and because some people would tell you, well, just send in my W-2. W-2 is not enough as evidence that you filed taxes. Every single time, I don't know why people always do that to people. If you're going to help people, help them. W-2 says nothing to USCIS that you filed taxes. Either you have an official tax transfer from IRS or you have your tax returns. So if you have someone, and we did this in another case, if you have someone who sent in, W-2s, you already know they're going to ask you for their tax returns or for you to get another joint sponsor. So what they did, and that my client did, was to get additional and yet another joint sponsor who was able to get them tax returns. And so we sent that in and supplemented, because we already know that's not going to be sufficient. We supplemented that, so we're not waiting for the, inevitable, while we're waiting. So you don't have to. So additional evidence in your immigration case, can you send it in without an RFE? Yes, you can. It's being proactive, but just don't send it in and mail it regular mail. You've got to have proof that it was sent in. You've got to have proof that someone in USCIS office signed for it, and you have your postage receipt that you keep. Like I have, and some of the clients said, "Do you do this for every client?" Yes, we do. I have, you would always. I just can't understand how people represent people and don't give them a copy of their file. I just don't get it. It's not saying anything about another attorney, but I just don't get it, because there's no reason why I should wait for you as my client to ask me for a copy of what was sent in on your behalf. So every single client of mine, once we send in your immigration package, we will send you a complete copy of that file. And if you ask me for another copy, you're going to have to pay for that. But you get a free copy of your file. And then you get a copy of the postage receipt that's got your name on it, that you know what your tracking number is. Because, we send out multiple packages. So we're not going to do different receipts. So what I do is we just put the name of the client in each one and save it as theirs. We don't put everybody's name. We just put one name at a time, so nobody knows what's going on. So you're not wondering what's going on in your case. If I get a USCIS email that I got today, I got an email saying, we mailed your new card. Immediately, I just forward that to the client. Hey, this is the update. I guess because I've been through the process, so I see differently. Like I do. Now, there's some people who, like, I want to pull my gray hair out, because y'all know yourselves. Those clients, I see one of you know yourself. But I get it. I've been through the process, so I get it, where I want to know. Let me know what's going on with my life. It's my life. I need to know if I'm getting, I'm staying here permanently, or I'm taking my butt back to Nigeria. Let me know, So yes, you can send in additional evidence, supplement your evidence, and if or booster your evidence. If you have more evidence to make your case stronger, send it in. Always, always, always include a copy of your receipt notice, so they know whose file it is. Specify what you're sending in. Just don't send in anything. Have a cover letter. There's nothing that goes out of our office without a cover letter. It states exactly what is in that package, and it is arranged accordingly, and it is scanned that way and sent a copy sent to the client. So yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. All right, let's go to questions. Hey, Miss Pam. Hey, Miss Pam. Listen, I had a dream. I'm not kidding you. I had a dream that I got yours next, your work permit next. You've got to join your fate with mine. I know something's going to happen. And Mr. Ernest, and I know he was here. I'm not going to say last names, obviously, but I know that's another. Listen, I got some of the best clients ever. Now I got some that I have to baby, but it's all good. I'm like, okay, but listen, I understand. Sometimes, like, okay, you can't stress my life, but I have to remind myself that this is a stressful thing. Immigration is a very, very emotional roller coaster times 10. People just want to know that, where they stand, So I had a dream that yours came next. Hello, Omobaba Samuel. Yes, that's me. Hey, Ms.𝐸𝐫. Hello. Good evening, Mr. Okwemi. How are you doing? Good evening, Miss Lawal. It's been a wonderful day so far. All glory to God. I love that. Let's see. Hello, Abimbola. Hello, Mr. Jean. Shout out to a fellow Vegicula girl. What year did you graduate? So I went to Federal Government Girls College, Akure. Oh my Akure, me. For real. Like, okay, let's digress. So technically, I'm from Delta State. So if you hear that my Yoruba sounds funny, that's why. My paternal grandfather was a full-fledged Yoruba man. Nothing Yoruba about him, full-fledged Delta man. Yoruba man, through and through. My paternal grandmother was from Akure, Ondo State. So my paternal grandfather's last name, which should have been my maiden name, was Wade Odaje. Listen, you gotta learn a whole lot about me. Wade Odaje. And my native Delta name is Ogenarukewe. I'm not sure if he's on my birth certificate. I have to ask my mother. But my dad, after his dad passed away when he was very, very young. So when his dad, he lived in Delta State, then Bendel State before it was split. So when his dad passed away, he moved to Accra and lived with his mother. And then he changed his last name to his father's first name, which is Samuel. And that's how my maiden name is Samuel. So I grew up, so I went to FGC Accra. Because my paternal grandmother actually lived there, and my dad had a house there, and he would come every weekend. And everybody knew I was like, listen, I was a daddy's girl. No shame to that. Even the junior girls knew when they saw my dad's Audi. Yeah, I turned out okay anyway. So, what year were you, Abimbola Oluboyo? Is it Bayo or Boyo? It looks like an O. Okay. Hello, Miss Alice. Can someone get married after being placed in removal proceeding? Yes. There is nothing to stop you from getting married, but keep in mind that once it is presumed, if you get married and you file an I-130 while you're removal proceedings, it is presumed that you're doing it just to evade immigration laws. And so you have the heightened burden to be able to prove bona fide exemption is I-130 is what it's called. So you would have the interview, to prove that you didn't get married just to evade immigration laws. Hey, is it Kenoy or Kenoy? Can I file I-45 765 313? Or you mean I-131? After receiving a prima facie determination, you can, if you're eligible. Right now, everyone will be, as long as you're not in removal proceedings, because LPR preference category is current, F2A is current, but whether you removed it, you received it, shouldn't stop you from doing that. Yeah, but you can. Yeah, I-131. Yes, you can. Amen, Miss Pam. I believe, John, you gotta. Where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, FGC over. Oh, okay. Corelli. After receiving, yes, I usually file. So let's talk about that real quick. I usually file, for the most part, we'll file everything at once. Unless a client is in removal proceedings or unless a client had some things to worry about not filing. Okay, so I had a case and I had a consultation where they had filed a 40, the vow petition and a work permit. And I think they now later on found out from the lawyer because they were expecting a work permit. Why haven't I received this over 2 years? Then the lawyer later told them that no, they filed a C-31. This is the explanation I was given. That was because no, they're two different stories. So no, that's a different one. The one I'm talking about, C-31, actually was a wrong category that the lawyer filed. They didn't know how to file a C-9. This one filed just a petition because the lawyer says that the client has, this potential client that I met with, has a criminal background. And so that will be a problem if they filed a 485 now, along with the vow petition because of the criminal case. Here's why it doesn't make sense to me. Just me. Okay, I have to go back and see what you guys are talking about on Instagram. Give me 1 second. If you're concerned about the criminal case and that's why you're not filing a 485, keep in mind that if you file the vow petition, part of what you have to prove in a vow case is still it's good moral character. So part of your good moral character involves your criminal background. If your criminal background is going to be an issue at your green card admissibility interview, which will not happen until the vow petition has been approved, your worry actually starts from when you file the petition itself, because whatever is going to affect you on your 485 will affect you in your vow petition, because it's part of good moral character that you have to prove and sustain that you are a person of good moral character. Does that make sense? So the only thing that makes, the only reasoning I see from it is you don't want a 485 to be denied because then you could be placed in removal proceedings. Well, because, if you file a vow petition, it's just denied. There's nothing that says, the last time we checked your unlawful status or whatever. But it's the same thing when you file a regular marriage green card and you file everything at once. If the I-130 is denied, the 485 is going to be denied, and they either place you in removal proceedings or not. But if you want to work while your vow case is pending, you do not have a choice but to file a 485, because that's the only way you can get a work permit that you can get approved while the vow petition is pending. Everybody's case is different. That's obviously why you need an immigration attorney. And that's why I put the video today. That don't be going into street lawyers, right? No street lawyers. Real lawyers. But yeah. So you can, Kenoy, you said you have an I-130 approved. Okay, now you're confusing me. Because you said, can you file a 485, 765, 131 after receiving prima facie? No, if you're talking a prima facie, that's a vow petition. You don't get a prima facie determination in an I-130. So, and if you have an approval of a petition that makes you eligible to file a 485, then, but I can't talk about your case. See, this is why I do consultations, because I don't know what you're talking about, but that's just a general rule about prima facie. Are you talking because now you said an I-130 approval? Is there going to be interview when you file vow? The only interview will be the green card interview. Vow petition does not have. They don't call you for an interview. For the I-360, once that is approved, Vermont Service Center forwards your entire file to the field office in the state you reside in. Once they get your file, they will now schedule an interview if they need to. I have had clients, I think the one that was approved last week, not last week, I think not last week because that was recent. We don't have an interview date yet. I think it was it September? One of the ones that it was approved last year. The only thing they sent us was to send an updated IC 693. That's it. So it just depends on if there's something in your background that makes them want to call you for an interview. But that doesn't happen until the valid petition is approved. Okay. Let me go on Instagram. I'm going to scroll back. Okay. Hello. Sent iPhone. I don't understand your username. Good to see you as well. Okay. My energy is contagious. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, my kids may not think that, because the 11-year-old told me the other day, he says, listen, I'm a full-blown African mother. Listen. So he called me at work. His brother, my oldest is 17. Thank God for another driver. But so TJ called me, which he never does, as soon as he was done at 2:30 in school. So my heart was like, oh gosh, what's going on? And then I said, everything okay? Fine, okay. He's like, well, I wanted to ask, can I go to the basketball game? I said, when? He said, well, it starts in 30 minutes. I was like, why are you just telling me now? He goes, well, my friends are going, like, see, that's where you've lost me. I said, well, we're still having a conversation. But when he started by saying, my friends are like, yeah, that's a no. Because guess what? In our house, we don't do because our friends are doing. We do because we're having a conversation, and you have to make me understand why I should let you go for something that you're just telling me because you knew on Monday, but now you told me just before you leave school. But now your reason is your friends are going, that's a no. Don't ask me why. That's a Nigerian mother. Okay. Love your energy. Thank you. Let's see. Do children under 14 need a biometric for I-45, although they hadn't one at the beginning of the application when first filled? Children under the age of 14 are presumed to have clean backgrounds. I've never had anyone under the age of 14 being called for fingerprinting. So what application are you talking about? Well, at least in general marriage basis and all that. After I sent to USCI is when they give me. After I sent to USCI is when they give me answers. After you sent what? I don't know what you're talking about sending to USCI. So after you sent what? But generally, when you send your package or your documents or your filings or your petitions to USCI, they will send you receipt notices, and you can use that you would have your priority date, which is your receipt date, a receipt date, and you'll be able to use that to go on USCIS.gov/present time to see what date or receive on what cases received or what day they're processing. That will give you an estimate of what to expect as far as timeline, but I don't understand what you mean by after you send. Okay. Fabulous Tao, what happened when they can't make a decision on your citizenship? There's a lot of reasons why they can't make a decision. So this is something. This is a generic question that I can't give an answer to. What happens? Why didn't they make a decision? What did they tell you? Is your 751 still pending? Did they tell you that they found something in your background that they have to verify? What? There's a whole lot of reasons why they can't. Generally, they make a decision. But if they cannot make a decision, right, there's got to be a reason. So what's the reason why they didn't make a decision in your case? Citizenship is not that hard. You pass your civics test, you pass your English test, and you take the oath and all that. If your 751 is still pending, they can't approve that or set a schedule for an oath ceremony until that's been approved. If it's got something that questions your good moral character, then they would that's something that they'll probably say needs further review. There's a whole lot that goes into not being able to make a decision. So I can't, I don't know, I need to know more about that. Okay. If I was out of status at some point and now apply for green card on valid grounds after my divorce, will I have troubles coming back into the U.S. if I get a travel document before leaving? No, you would not have troubles. And I see someone put that case. There was an Indian couple that they were out, and they denied their case when they were out, but they traveled legally with advanced parole. So that I was wondering, like, why did they put that case up? So let me rephrase your question. So you've been out of status, but you've applied for green card. You've applied for VAWA, and you filed a green card with it. Now, as long as you file, so you said after you divorce, as long as you filed your petition within 2 years since your divorce, you should be fine. And you can link the divorce, the abuse, to the reason why you got divorced. And as long as you have filed and have an approved advanced parole, and you have your card in your hand, if you filed at the same time your work permit, then you would have, it would be, this also serves as advanced, I think it's 8112, don't quote me on that, advanced parole. So that is your gateway to come back in. As long as you have that before you leave, you will be able to come back because your case was still, that's the whole point, because you have a pending case that allows you to travel, come back into the country while your case is pending. Me silly. I hope that answers your question. Can I get married after divorce and my VAWA case still pending? No. You're loud and clear. Do not get married while your VAWA is pending. You will lose your petition. No, I just had a consultation with someone and I'm like, yeah. If you're, listen carefully, please, people. You have been through enough with abusive spouse. The last thing you want to do is to mess up your whole thing that you're waiting patiently in years for. If you get married before a decision has been made on your I-360, your VAWA petition will be nullified. Hear me loud and clear. Nullified. That's it. It will void your VAWA petition. Now, 𝐸 007. If you have a child, that's fine. But if you get married, there's a difference. If you get married after your I-360 has been approved, but before your 485 has been approved, there's no issue with that. One is you cannot get married before 360 is approved. You cannot get remarried. It nullifies your VAWA petition. If 360 has been approved, you've got an approval notice, you have the C31 E80 card, you've got an approval, your petition approved. If you get married before your green card application, there is no issue with that. Big difference. Okay. Yes, as is Beck 23. Thank you for that. So, but yes, I hope, Miss Silly, I hope that with the case law, it was about the Indian couple, and with that explanation, that's basically what you need to make sure you do. Okay. All righty. Let's see. What is a tattoo on your hand? Oh, this one. It says God's own. I don't know if you can say that's what it is. What are the benefits you get with a prima facie determination? State benefits, you can apply for Medicaid, you can get, you can apply for housing, you can get food stamps. Now, as far as state, each state is different. Yeah, I gotta send Mr. Gotta send in his PF because he's in removal proceeding, and we have, I think, to the end of February to file application for relief in immigration court. And I tell you, I've been praying to get, I think I spoke about yesterday, that because his case was not filed until like October. And I'm just, some of my cases probably in July, I'm just getting PFD or September. And so I was like, oh shoot, how long do I still have? Like if I have it to estimate, and I have up to the end of February, because I was hoping to get a prima facie determination. Then I can ask for prosecutorial discretion with the eyes, and knock on wood, the person that was on his case is an angel God sent. And he says, whenever you get it, just email it to me and I'll see we'll review at that time. And so I was like, but last week I was like, I don't have it, end of January, I'll probably just put it in. So when I got his prima facie determination, he was like, oh my God really answers prayers. So if I can get his case out of removal proceedings and have those proceedings terminated, I'm telling you, I will throw him a party, because he's just one of those just good-hearted people that ended up in the wrong hands and so on. I tell you, this lady texted my client. He had his first master calendar hearing scheduled last year before he hired me. She texted him, and she sent, and that's part of what we sent in. Texted him a copy of his hearing schedule, and texted a copy and sent him a photo of a rifle, a gun, whatever, that she was coming to get him on that day. People are just cruel. But anyway, so state benefits differ. You've got to figure out what you can or cannot do with that in your state. Federal obviously will be a nationwide. 𝐸𝐫𝐬𝐫. Remind me what is, obviously you're welcome. You're welcome. Congress person, but remind me what is your case that we talked about? What petition were you waiting on? Got your approval. Congratulations. That is, but remind me what is it that we talked about? Because I talked to a lot of people. Let's see. Okay. How much time do I have? Oh, I gotta go. Ma'am, what other document can one submit to years of filing I-130 for child of a resident living in Nigeria? Now, if it was sent because the child birth certificate was recorded after 2 years of birth. I had a client who had that issue. You can do a DNA test. That's as good as that's your proof right there. If you really want to just do all you can. But then again, the thing is, your IRFE will tell you what you can send in. So without knowing what your case is, and because they won't just tell you, they will give examples of what you can send in. So look at your IRFE and see what they say. And if they probably have it on your IRFE telling you if you want to do a DNA test. If you have it there, then that's what you probably would have to do. Okay. Big movement. So much like Caribbean parent. He says his mom will tell him that my brother is all the friend I need. Yeah. So much. See, everything was going fine until he said, well, my friends are like, see, that's the thing we don't do. We don't do things because friends do. Nah. See, you're going to have a lot of peer pressure at this age, but you're going to have to stand by yourself. I don't listen to my friend. No. You lose me at that. So Caribbean parents are the same. I'm not surprised. USCIS sent invoice interview notice for I-130. Is it normal? Yes, that's not abnormal. Let me make something clear. When you go for an interview, when you file an I-130 at 485 and you are scheduled for an interview, they will tell you you're the 485. It would have your 485 most likely in your interview, right? For the most part. But it would say you have to come with your spouse. If you're filing based on marriage, you have to come with your spouse. When they send you if your case gets denied and they send you denial notice, have you realized that your denial notice is usually not the grounds? It's not in your 485. Your 485 would generally say something to the effect of, on whatever day we deny the visa petition filed on your behalf. Therefore, you have no basis for eligibility. That's because the interview is not about you 485 only. The interview is mainly about a good faith marriage. That's why the separate spouses, that's why the separate you, and they put you in separate rooms and interview separately and come together. Because the underlying basis for you filing the green card application is the I-130. So the interview is geared solely for that I-130 to see if it's a good faith marriage. If you get past the good faith marriage proof, then they start to ask you about your 485 and to check admissibility grounds is really what your 485 is about. The 485 has nothing to do with your eligibility for a visa. It's all tied to the I-130. So that's the whole thing. That's why you get thank you, Mr. Michael. I have an internet phone, so I get messages on my laptop. Listen. Okay. Can I travel with 24-month extension out of country? Yes, you can, because that's proof that you're permanent resident. I'll be conditional. Okay, you're welcome. Clear, Miss Silly. Absolutely. You are so welcome. If your VAWA case is pending, can you have a child out of wedlock? Hey, who's looking at you? No, nothing stops you from having a child. The one thing you just cannot do is remarry. Hey, but you don't have to broadcast to the whole nation that you had a child. Just saying. You're welcome. Okay. Does receiving government benefits affect your immigration process? It depends on what it is. For instance, if you are a VAWA petitioner, receiving government benefits would not affect you. If you're filing for marriage-based, it may affect because one of the things you're required to do, your petition is required to file an affidavit of support that you would not become a public charge. So if you're receiving benefits, makes you a public charge, then it defeats the whole purpose. So it just depends on each case. So I can't talk about your case because I don't know about your case. When can you get a C31 EAD? If somebody asks me that question one more time, I'm going to lose it. Y'all need to stop. I'll come back to Facebook and YouTube. 18. Simply put, when your VAWA petition is approved, that's when you get C31 EAD. If you want an EAD that you want to work with while the VAWA is pending, you've got to file a 485. So you can file a C9 category work permit. Yeah. Sending requests to be in your live video. Okay, I'll get to you. Just give me 1 second. Does receiving go? Okay, I just answered that question. Okay, let's go quick before I sign up here. Where did I stop here? Let's see. Approval is there. I get your answer. Thanks. Okay, you're welcome. Mood and Star, on my VAWA approval notice, it says I have deferred action for 15 months. What does it mean? That you will not be subject to removal proceedings. So once you have a VAWA approved, if you don't have a 45 that you filed, one of the benefits is you will not be subjected to deportation, except there's something else going on. But generally, you will not. So that's what it means. The deferred action means that you will not be subjected to. So you're able to stay in the country, and then you should have Mood Star. You should have received the C31 EAD as well. So if you're unless you're in removal proceedings or whatever, but if you're not, then that means you can go ahead and file for your green card if you haven't already done so. But that's one of the advantages of VAWA. Do you have to wait for I-130 before you can file green card work permit if you're in removal proceeding? If you're in removal proceeding, EOIR has jurisdiction over your case. So anything you file, so if you have an I-130 pending, you can use that to file the receipt notice, to file 485 with EOIR, so that you're filing your 485 with the court as your application for relief. And once you do that, you have to send copies. That's instruction of what you have to do. You send it to USCI so they have a copy, and based on that, you can file a work permit as well. But that's something. Is the accent for you? Hey, Mr. Singh, how are you? How long does it take to make decision on PD request after VAWA approved? Please share your experience. Thank you. I've had prosecutorial discretion denied within days, and I cussed them really like while I was in my office. I can't start an email. And I've had prosecutor discretion granted within days. But it just depends on each office. So I cannot, I have, let's see. I think I have two that they haven't responded. They haven't even acknowledged my email besides their auto email. It just depends. And it depends on each state. So I cannot really generalize for everywhere. How long does it take for your 360 to get approved? Anywhere from 18 months to 3 years. My 360 was approved August. How long do I have to wait before I hear back? Congratulations, Mood Star. Oh, okay. So did you file your 485 as well, Mood Star? 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, one of the best immigration attorney I've ever listened to. I give it to you, ma'am. You're doing well. Thank you. Listen, I don't take any credit for anything. I love what I do. I love this job. Someone was asking me, why do you still do criminal defense? You don't need to. I love defending people. I love being a voice. Listen, people who meet me for the first time, they're like, that's all of you? Because, when you hear me on the phone, my voice is very, very strong, as you can hear. I've got a very commandeering, domineering voice. So when people meet me, like, she's all about 5 foot tall. But I have a presence, especially in court. And I just love to defend people. I just really, really enjoy. So thank you, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. That means a lot. It's just, I love to rejoice with people. I think that is just who I am naturally. I love to rejoice with people. I'm happy and genuinely happy when people are happy. Just to see people excel and succeed and just be able to achieve your dreams makes me happy. I don't know how to be jealous of anyone. That's just me. Okay. So how long does my case is administratively closed and trying to get so I can. So if your case is administratively closed, what I usually do, I can advise you, if you want to set up a consultation, we can do that. Consultation is $130 for 30 minutes to 30 for an hour. What I usually do generally is to email the ICE attorney, the opposing counsel, and say, hey, would you join in a motion to recalendar this case, because administrative closure just means that it's off the active docket. It's still within the immigration court jurisdiction. So in order for you to go and take it off of that to go to USCIS, it's got to be terminated. So you have to file a motion to recalendar and ask the court, or a joint motion to recalendar and or terminate proceedings. And ICE does not oppose that. And if it's terminated, then you can file 485. But the best thing for you will be to consult an immigration lawyer. Listen, I want to believe that I can solve my own headaches when I go on Google. Because, hey, I went to law school. How much does it take? But I have my younger brother is a surgeon. I cannot for the life of me do what he does. I don't expect him to know how to do what I do. You need to watch my video today. So, okay. Thanks for the explanation of this getting married during vow case, but you said someone can have kid. I didn't say you can have kid. That's not what I said. You have a lawyer, you ain't gonna pin nothing on me. What I said is, if you have a kid, that's nothing says you cannot have a kid. I didn't say you can't have a kid. I said, if you have a kid, nothing says you can't have a kid. But you don't have to broadcast to the whole world. What I just need you to understand is you cannot get remarried while your 360 is pending. So, see that how I explain that? Okay, how long does it take for your work permit to approve from August? You're just starting. We have Miss Pam and I still waiting. You're just starting. I have some Mr. Ernest. We're waiting since March. Now I'm not sure if he's on. He's one of my all-time favorite clients. I'm telling you. Hello, John. I don't scold him. Obviously, much older than he is. But he's just a good man, good young man. But he worries a lot. So I told you the other day, like, you cannot worry. Like, someone told me that a long time ago, and I always remember, if you're going to pray, you can't worry. If you're going to worry, then there's no point praying. Like, you got to be positive. If you cannot stay positive, then there's no point hoping. What are you hoping for? But anyway, so that's what I said. Let me take questions, and I will be off. Called immigration about I after June number, and the next day sent my. Okay, that's good. Is that quick or slow? Biometric appointment. That's quick. Hey, Mr. Sunny. Okay, let's see. Called immigration. And okay, let's see. A file for vow since December 2018. I have not heard anything. Are you serious? Let me. I'm sitting on my leg. Ugh. It's 2018. 3 years? Minat Ola. No. No, if you haven't heard anything from USCIS in 3 years, have you received a prima facie determination? Why worry when you can pray? Have you received a prima facie determination? No problem, Mr. Singh. And congratulations, but that's what I would suggest. But if you want to have a game plan tailored to your case, call an immigration attorney. Even if it's not me, just make sure you give yourself the best chance at getting your case out of EOIR back to USCIS. 4 times, okay. So because when you say you haven't heard anything, I thought you just filed and nothing. So and do you have your work permit though? Minat Ola, do you have your work permit? I'm guessing your name is Aminat. Do you have your work permit? Minat Ola, I'm not. Okay, someone says if your asylum case has not been approved, if you apply for a program for parent, can it affect your case? I'm not sure I understand your question. No, they stopped giving me since they can't stop giving you. Okay, so Minute a lot. The best thing you want to do is to set up a consultation with an attorney. Speak with a lawyer to know what's been going on and explain what's been going on with your case so that they know exactly what needs to be done, if anything needs to be done. Because they can't just stop giving you work permit if they've given you before, unless you didn't refile. I don't know. Okay. Okay, Epic. Okay. Yeah, that may be that. What can I do to hasten my 10-year green card after receiving training for a month? If you're eligible for citizenship, that usually makes it. I would do that with you. No problem. When can I call you? We charge for consultation. It's $130 for 30 minutes and $230 for an hour. So I don't offer free consultation. This is what I do as far as free, and I give a lot of information. But I don't, you can, there's some attorneys who do free consultation, but consult with someone and know what's going on. Just don't sit down, especially when you say that, they stopped giving you work permit. I just don't get that. But anyway, everybody, thank you. Okay, someone sent a video request and then you declined. Don't understand. Okay. Are you shy? When can I file for asylum? I've been here for 4 years now through school. So if you were, how long ago did you, if you have been out of status, how long ago were you on F status, F visa, F status as a student? Because that if you're still in non-immigrant status, you're able to file within a reasonable time, and you have to explain all of that in your cover letter and application. Okay. Your student status, okay. So Have you explored other options? H-1B, getting a job, being able to get an employment-based green card. Yeah, so what can you do? Hasten your obtaining green card. So if you're eligible for citizenship, you can do that. Okay. Thank you. I would tell Chris and the boys to have a good night. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate that. Once again, please share this video. I'm trying to get to 5,000 followers on Facebook by the end of February, so please support that, and I would appreciate that a whole lot. And thanks to everyone. Have a wonderful